This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Hicks versus Hicks. Mrs. Hicks, you're here with your husband. You've been recently separated, and you've just allowed your husband back in the home in the last month. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your goal with this hearing today?
Well, Your Honor, I'm here to find out the truth, hopefully, and to see if my husband is still dealing with a woman named Correta that he was dealing with previously, and also if he is living with another woman.
Mr. Hicks, what do you have to say about that?
No.
No,
right.
that's no. Okay.
I haven't seen Correta since I kicked her out 2 years ago.
Have you been in touch with her via text or other social media or other technology?
Yes, I had through Facebook, but it wasn't on that level. Like, you know, it's just been like small talk.
All right, Ms. Hicks, do you believe that?
I don't really know what to believe. He lies a lot. If I can't get the truth, or if it's still infidelity going on, then I'm gonna have to let my marriage go.
This is what she do.
Are you considering divorce? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes. I went online and bought I guess it's like a divorce book.
Did you know that?
No.
I do have proof of the receipt and everything for it.
Ron, would you please get that?
Yes, Sean.
So you had no idea that she had done research and was ready to file?
She had said, like, you know, I didn't know she was trying to take it, down that route. I didn't know that.
She has bought a divorce book, A Guide to Doing an Uncontested Divorce. Mr. Hicks, this is serious.
Yeah, I was trying to get her to understand my standpoint so we ain't have to come to this point,
Mrs. Hicks, people don't get married unhappy, so there had to been some happy times.
When we first got together, it was, he made me laugh. He's funny and talented and, great conversation. All those things that kind of make you want to, take those steps to be with someone. And
how did you all meet?
We were neighbors. He lived like a house away from me. I happened to actually be walking past his house, and he kind of almost broke his neck to get outside to talk to me. And he was like, hey, can I get your number? And I'm like, well, I live right there. I'll be back.
Okay.
And I actually didn't come back that same day.
You played him off?
I did, a little bit.
Not played off. She was playing hard to get.
No, she played him off.
When I first, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's not really my type. So I kind of kept it moving.
Ms. Hicks, I gotta know. How did you finally get the number?
When I found out she stayed like 2 houses down, I was really like, you mine. I walk past, I keep walking to the store, I might see her. Hey, Kiana, how you doing? You still ain't text me yet, she said. He eventually did it, and
The rest is history.
You turned on the charm.
Oh, basically, he was a charmer.
Well, Color, I try to play a little hard to get. You know what that looked like.
Yeah, we dated 7 years before we got married, so I don't know how how much harder you could have played, but yeah. So what went wrong?
Yeah.
I guess when I caught him cheating, I should say, just one day he's like, oh, I'm going with a family member, I'll be back. Okay, but he left his Facebook open on the computer and saw that he was messaging another female, and he's like, trying to meet up with her. We actually had an app on our phones where you could track the other phone, and it showed me the area he was in. But by the time I got there, he was already going to his car.
Yeah.
And he saw me, so he kind of like hurried up and took off, and I followed him, and it was like a big mess.
Did you never saw another woman?
Regardless if it was another woman, let's just start there. You told her you were at a family member's house, but you weren't. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was a lie right there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, now, it really was another woman, wasn't it?
Yes, Your Honor. Basically.
All right, so how did this wind up when you got home?
It wasn't really a conversation. I just put him out. And that was kind of,
that's really...
when our separation.
That's a pretty short conversation.
Is this the only thing he's done in the past?
No.
Okay, tell me about what else he's done.
Like I said, with the woman with Correta, what happened was he went out. He's like, oh, I'm going out with a family member. I'll be back. And he was gone for 4 days.
4 days?
What
4
was
days.
this?
He was gone for 4 days. So when he came back, I'm like, you can get your stuff. And I changed my locks. No phone call, no text message, no nothing.
I did call you.
No, he told me that he was with a
I
family member.
was with one of my friends. It was one of my best friends.
He told me he was with a family member, and that the first night he said, oh, well, I was intoxicated, I drank too much, and then I couldn't drive home.
That's true, too. That's what happened.
What happened the other 2 days?
What happened the other 2 days?
That's a whole nother occasion you talk about. I left overnight. I didn't want to drive back, so I
didn't
was
come
too
back
drunk. I
the
slept in
next
the
day
car. I
either.
told you I slept in the car.
All right.
Okay,
And then-
you keep mentioning Correta. What did you find out about Correta?
Around New Year's Eve, I happened to call him because someone was breaking into my house, which he chose not to believe. And as I'm talking to him, I hear a female in the background, and I actually spoke to her, and she's like, "Oh, well, this is my man, and we've been together for such and such." And I'm like, "Okay."
Well, you spoke to her?
Yeah.
You gave her the phone?
He
I don't know how they
basically
talk.
We talked on your phone.
How?
You were right there.
I didn't have no other woman, no phone. She was telling me that. That was,
Okay, I'm stuck on the part about your wife calling you and then you giving the phone to your girlfriend so your girlfriend can talk to your wife. Did that happen?
yeah, that did happen. But
Yeah, see?
Okay,
You know, I'm not sure being a player is your thing.
did Correta know you were married?
yes, she did.
And I talked to her myself. She told me that he told her that he had filed divorce papers. Me and him were no longer together. And then
She lied to you because I never told her that. I told her I was
What?
still married. Then we weren't even talking about a divorce then.
It's kind of hard for the pot to call the cauldron black on this one. I mean, you telling lies. How can you say
she
she
said
lied?
that they were trying to plan a baby together and all of this just all
You see
type
who
of
she said that
craziness.
to? She said it to my wife. I mean, come on. She trying to get you mad.
When did your relationship with this Correta end?
I don't know the exact day. It was before Valentine's Day.
Oh. Now that's a real player move to break up right before Valentine's Day.
All right, so you have not been with Correta since February 2015.
Correct. I did text her. We did text, but that was just recently, like a couple weeks ago.
But your concern is he's still sleeping with her. Is that correct?
Yes, and there's also another woman that I think he's still dealing with.
Okay, wait a minute. There's a number two?
Me and him separated again, and he told me that he was going to get his own apartment, and I found out he was living with another woman.
How did you find that out?
Our son told me. He's like, he was like, there's a girl. But I had found out, like, before he moved out, I knew he was communicating with this woman because she was on Facebook making all type of status. Facebook tells everything. So I kind of put two and two together, and I kind of questioned my son a little bit. I'm like, well, is this the one? And I showed him the picture of her, and he's like, yeah, that's her, instantly, right off the bat. You told me you were moving alone, but...
Mr. Hicks, were you living with someone else?
Yes, I was. But we were separated.
And when did
Then
you...
I actually ran into them at a store together, him and the other woman. They're house shopping. Like crock pots and all type, blenders, all just, things for the house. And I'm like,
So did you
Okay.
have your own place or was she moved in with you?
We moved in together. She knew about Kiana. She knew what situation I was in, and I was trying to move on from it. And, we bonded on another level, and that's how that happened.
Well, that's a problem because you shouldn't be bonding with anybody but your wife. So why did you have him come home a month ago? Why'd you allow him to back in your house?
he called me. Oh, I want to come home. I'm done with the back and forth. So I thought we had a mutual understanding.
I never called her and said that.
What did you say?
Well, how
Yeah.
did you get back there then?
We had a discussion.
All right, tell me
we
about
had
that.
a conversation, and it was, I was basically asking her, what she wanted to do. I told her what I wanted to do.
Which was?
Hey,
I told her I wanted to be with her.
Did you want to get back with him?
Once I found out he was living with the other woman, I said, if you're going to come back, you can't do the back and forth. You have to completely be done. And he's like, oh, I'm done. And he wanted to, video chat me and prove to me that he's packing up all his stuff. But he gets home and he's still doing the same stuff. He came back one night with different pair of underwear on. And I'm like,
Okay, wait a minute. You've let him back in the house a month ago.
Yeah.
And
well, let him back. He said he wanted to come back home.
No. You don't get to. That she allowed him back home.
It's his house, too.
No, it ain't. No, when you do what he did, it ain't his house. It's her house.
I think it's more comfortable to say they agreed that he would come back home.
All right, for the sake of this, moving this along, I'm gonna say that you all agreed for him to come home. All right. Do you have an apartment with anyone else?
Right now?
Yeah.
No.
That was a long
pause.
Cutler, do you have another house or not?
No.
Okay, you see how he did that?
Yeah.
That's what that should look like.
it's just too many instances.
Okay,
And
Ms. Hicks, you want to know if he's still involved with this woman, Correta, and you also want to find out if he's involved with someone else.
yes, Your Honor.
This court has tracked down Correta.
where she at.
And she's here. Ron, would you please show her in?
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll let Dick seat right up next to the judges.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Do you know Mr. Hicks?
I
Miss
sure do.
Marion?
All right.
Tell us about that. How do you know him?
I met him about a year or two ago on a website. Never was married, no ring ever in sight. But he came to see me where I was at with their child.
You took your
It's not true, no.
Yes, we went to the mall, having a good old time. Me, him, and his
No, we
friend.
didn't.
So did you go visit her and take your child to see her?
Tell the truth. He's
Oh,
lying.
I did not.
He's lying.
Wow.
How long were you together?
I started messing with him after I got pregnant.
That's not true.
Okay.
We messed around from January to
He's lying.
from December to at the end of December to right before Valentine's Day. After that, I never seen her again.
He's lying.
Miss Hicks, what are you thinking right now?
That's not the story. I got pregnant with my daughter in April. So, like,
And I got
I
pregnant in
just-
February.
me and her did communicate. She did tell me that she was pregnant.
I didn't get her pregnant.
But he kept saying right off the bat that that's not his
Excuse
child.
me. When I got pregnant, he was happy. He came to my mother's house, rolling on my belly, saying that he wanted a little girl. And guess what? That's what I had.
And he never told you he was married.
After it came out, because like I said, he had put a picture on him on Facebook. I commented on there. I did say, babe, or, I love you, because, we was at that level, whatever. And she commented on there, like, excuse me, I'm his wife, and make a whole little paragraph. Then his friends.
I told her I was married.
Then his friends
and
told
then
him
my
to tell the
mom
truth.
was the one who commented on Facebook.
Okay, his
and-
friends told him to go ahead, be real, tell you, like, man, okay, I am, but I'm about to get a divorce. So like I said, there was no ring ever in sight. And maybe believe him, he picked me up. We drove to their house to go get her and her child. I'm in the front seat, she gets in the back with her child.
You actually picked up your girlfriend with your wife? Did that happen?
Yes, it did.
I pulled up.
did.
What?
But she didn't want to get out the front seat. I kept telling her, like, she
He
don't
did
want
not
to.
tell me to get out. She stood at the
She
car.
was like, no, if she gonna have to fight me to get this front seat. That's what she
doesn't
I'm like,
matter
you know what?
where-
To
lying.
do-
He can't tell the truth.
Okay,
He's a
you
liar.
have missed the point.
No woman, let me say that again, no woman wants to be in the car, front, back, the roof, with her husband and his girlfriend.
Miss Marion, Mr. Hicks has testified that the last time he was with you was 2 years ago.
That's true. But he has texted me recently. He sent me a little emoji with a little purple thing, meaning I miss his penis. And I said, I like cats now.
Wait, I'm sorry. There's a purple emoji that says,
Carla, let me translate.
Please.
That's where she lied.
He sent her eggplant emoji.
okay, all right,
That's a sign for a man.
yeah,
And meaning he wanted to get with her.
right.
She sent back a picture of a cat
Saying that I
because
like-
she's no longer doing guys, she's doing girls. Is that fair?
Thank you.
All
Okay.
right.
This was last
You something else.
Send her no emoji.
This was last week.
So he
Me
sent you
haven't
an
talked to
egg.
her in 5 months.
I never sent no eggplant emoji.
Man,
left that part out.
Well,
Okay, that's the part you're denying?
Well, no, he did say that he talked to her
See how
this
she
week.
was, see how she was doing
he didn't
or
even say, how
whatnot.
you doing? That's not how he came at me.
Do you know anything about him dating other women?
Yes.
How do you know that?
I asked him who did he live with. I said, you live with your girl? He said, no. I did at least with another chick. I got all my screenshots.
Let me see what you have there.
I showed with screenshot and everything.
This is a text message, and it says, you got your own or you live with your girl. Okay, and he says, I signed a lease with this girl. Was he talking about Kiana?
No, a whole nother chick.
And Mr. Hicks, you signed a lease with this girl.
As of right now, I don't live with another girl. My stuff is at home.
But you got a lease with somebody else?
I was lying to her.
Okay,
Again.
here's the emoji,
Okay.
sir. I found the text message right here. All them texts is from Terrence, and that little purple emoji is the little eggplant.
Yeah, that's an eggplant all day.
So he ain't, and the date is last week. I was at work. I'm not lying.
Did you
So-
send her an eggplant?
See, look.
Earth
Look, I
Earth
talk.
to Mr.
Can I-
Hicks.
Okay, look, can I talk? Can I?
Yeah, I want you to talk. I can't
Yeah,
wait
we
to
want to hear
hear you
this. We
talk.
sit back for this
I
one.
was drinking. I was drinking. Right.
Last week
You know.
we were at home with.
I was drinking.
You and
I told
Beyonce.
Kiana about this situation. I said, you know what? I said, Correta text me. She almost got me.
You still cheating? That's cheating.
That's cheating in your mind.
Because if she would have let you, you would have slept with her.
Definitely would
No, I
have.
wouldn't have. You know that.
If she would have let you, you would have did.
Come on now.
Okay, I think
the reason why I even.
I think we've
Okay.
actually
Yeah.
heard enough.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hicks, let me just say this. You are a lovely young lady. And if you were my daughter, I would tell you, you need a good man, a man who's gonna value you and love you and treat you like the queen that you are.
You all have been together for 4 years. You have one daughter together, but allegations of cheating are just tearing apart your relationship. Mrs. Schall, why are you here today?
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because simply I can't trust her. You know, I'm tired of losing hair. You know, I'm tired of losing weight. You know, like I've lost 3 belt loops. You know, I'm tired of losing sleep. So I want some answers.
We watch litigants and we can tell a lot about what's going on behind before they got here. You said, I can see that you have this nervous energy. You said you've lost weight, you go down 3, but you ain't got nowhere else to go. You need to stop right there.
That's right.
You say you're losing
Yeah.
your hair, you say
Yeah.
you're not resting well.
So-
And here's the thing, we can see that tension
Right.
in your body of what's going on with you. And we're just acknowledging that.
All of this because of the stress on your relationship because you think she's cheating?
Well, sir, we have a daughter. You know, that's in the middle of it as well. You know, so I want to move past all this for the sake of them.
And the results of today's investigation mean everything to you.
Yes, it means a lot to me. So I just want answers. You know.
You want answers for the future of your relationship.
Yeah.
So if you would find out that Miss Pingledis is in fact cheating, what will happen?
Honestly, we're done.
Everything is resting on what happens today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Pingledis, what is your response? I mean, this young man, it's very clear that whatever is going on between you is wrecking him physically, not just emotionally, but physically.
Yeah, I'm here today to prove to him that I'm not cheating, that I did make a mistake in the beginning of our relationship, but I shouldn't have to pay for that for the rest of our lives. He's gone to the extent of going outside my work with binoculars and watching me and at work, going through text messages, going through all of my personal stuff, trying to find stuff, and I can't live like that anymore.
So you are trying to prove your innocence because you can't continue to stand the frustration of being watched.
Yeah.
Now, you said something right off the bat. You said you made a mistake early in your relationship.
Yes.
What mistake did you make?
I did cheat earlier in the beginning of our relationship, maybe within the first 6 months. We were grieving over the loss of our friend, and a lot was going on at that time. I was emotional and vulnerable, and my ex still lived with me, like not my choice, but my mom's choice. And so things happened, and I was afraid to tell him. I recently admitted to it, but you know, I was hurt that I hurt him.
Okay, so you had this slip up, if you will, with your ex,
Yes.
and you recently shared this with him,
Yes.
and you've added to that you have a concern about the paternity of your daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. You know, it was around the time that she.
That she stepped out.
Yes, ma'am. I can't do it no more. You know, I just need some answers.
You've built a bond with this daughter. You have fathered her and nurtured her for the last 18 months, and now all that's in question.
No, it's been in question, Your Honor. I don't know what to believe.
Okay, we are going to order you, after this proceeding is completed, to go to paternity court with Lauren Lake. She's a good friend of ours, because however this is gonna pan out, however this comes out, whether you all together or not, you need to have that question answered. And if this relationship is going to move forward, you have to have that question answered for the stability of your foundation.
Ms. Pingledis,
Yes, Your Honor.
you've cheated in the past.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've admitted to that.
Yes. And sorry.
Do you have doubts about the paternity of your daughter?
No.
There's no doubt in your mind.
No.
But I see that you're crying. Are these tears of frustration having to deal with this issue over and over again?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so you just want to get beyond this yourself.
Yes.
All right.
You talked about her cheating in the past, and how that hurt you, but you think she's cheating now.
Well,
Is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, just tell me one thing why you think she's cheating now.
Okay, it was a few months back. For the first time in 3 years, she's never worked past 9:15. She's closed the store. I get a phone call saying, hey, I'm working late tonight till 11. I said, okay. She said that she was behind the store waiting on the truck. That's where I had was already at, and I said, well, hey, I don't see you back here. Where are you? She hung up on me. Next thing I know, I'm walking around the building. Here they come out, up front. I could have sworn
Who is they?
Her coworker and Sophia.
This is a male coworker?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're behind the store, and you're calling her saying, hey, where are you? She says, I'm in back of the store, and you're thinking, well, I'm in back of the store, and I don't see you.
Yeah.
And so then you go around to the front of the store, and you see her with a male coworker.
Well, they're walking into the front of the store, but I could have sworn that I seen him adjust his pants. She was putting on a sweater. It scares me.
Were you in the back of the store or in the front of the store?
My boss called me and usually I'm the closing supervisor, so I closed the store. And my boss said, go ahead and just go home. The truck driver said he'd park the truck back there, go to a hotel, come back, and they unload at 6 o'clock in the morning. So then I went to go tell Tyrell, which he was already outside. He was already outside at 9 o'clock when the store closed because he was already suspecting, whatever he was suspecting at the time. So he was already out there. And so whatever he's saying isn't true.
So you're saying the reason that you were there with the coworker by yourself after hours when you were meeting a truck that was unloading at your store?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I understand that. The part I don't understand is when Mr. Schall saw you walking with a coworker adjusting your clothes, and what was that about?
I wasn't doing that, so I'm not sure what he thinks he saw, but that wasn't the case.
And Mr. Schall, you know what you saw.
He was adjusting his clothes. She was putting on a sweater.
So they were both adjusting their clothes.
She was putting on a sweater. He was adjusting his pants. Yes.
There are cameras everywhere in the store, so I don't know where he thinks that we would do anything at. There's cameras behind the store. They're everywhere.
Besides the break room.
But something went off in your mind to make you think she is doing something with this coworker.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Schall, is there anything else she said or done that makes you think she's cheating right now?
Well, yes, I was at another business trip that she had convinced me to go on. The whole time that I was there, I was just steady arguing, and it eventually had got more intense to, hey, how do you feel that someone bigger is me hitting it? It messed my.
Okay, wait.
All right.
You're having an argument, a very intense argument. Miss Pingledis said to you, how do you feel about another man having sex with me who's bigger than you? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Pingledis, did you say that?
I don't remember. I don't remember the exact words, but he
What
said.
do you think you said?
He said that
No, what do you think you said?
How does it feel knowing someone bigger than you is hitting this?
You said that to him?
I don't remember saying that. Something along the lines, but not those exact words.
But something close to that.
Yes.
Why in the world would you say something even close to that to Mr. Schall?
I don't know.
Because I know how I would feel if I was with someone who says, how would you feel if you knew somebody bigger than you was hitting this?
Well, I also I found messages.
Wow.
You never said that.
No. That is way below the belt.
Way below the belt. Why would you say something like that to him?
There were messages from other girls on his Facebook. He would purposely go and message them, delete the messages. So I was trying to make him feel like he was making me feel.
And how was he making you feel?
Like he was doing something.
And that made you feel how?
Hurt, disappointed.
So those tears that we're seeing, those represent the hurt that you were feeling.
Yeah.
And so you lashed back at him.
Yeah, trying to make him feel the way that I was feeling.
Okay, love doesn't work that way. You do understand that.
I know.
And when you
I know.
say something like that, you can't unring that bell. That's in his head. And now he can't let it go because you popped off with, you have confessed to him that you're sleeping around.
I didn't confess I was sleeping around. I made one mistake in the beginning of our relationship. That's all I...
No. But once you said to him, how do you feel about someone who did hit this? You're like, this is happening currently.
I said that while... I didn't mean it like that. I was just trying to make him, I don't know.
I understand, and let me be clear with you. I'm not really fussing, a little bit. But the point is, when you fight with somebody, you can't say what's gonna make them bleed out. Because once you stab them, they're just bleeding. And if you felt badly, why would you want him to feel badly? That's just not how relationships and love works. You don't want the person that you love and care about to feel badly. That defies logic.
Mr. Schall, tell her how it feels for you to hear her say anything remotely close to someone else has been with her. And I want you, Miss Pingledis, to look in his eyes as he tells you how it feels for you to lash out at him and say someone else has been with you.
It really broke my heart.
It wasn't my intention.
It just seems so believable because
Talk to her, let her know.
When I had got home, it just didn't seem the same way as I left it.
You guys don't understand what I have to go through on a daily basis. I can't go to the store by myself without him thinking that I'm doing something. Like, I feel like I'm trapped in my own home. Like.
But Miss Pingledis, I understand how you feel, but you can't lash out. You all have to talk to each other. There's no communication. That's why I'm asking you to turn to each other and talk, because you don't know how he feels. You say he doesn't know how you feel, and you've hit him below the belt in two different ways. Not just that someone else has been with you, but you specifically said someone bigger than you. So you've hit him below the belt twice. And whatever he's done, I'm not justifying that. What I'm saying is you all cannot lash out at each other like that, and you can't keep giving him reasons to think you're cheating. And that is the problem.
And when you say he doesn't trust me, it only takes a minute to tear down everything you've ever built up. It only takes a minute. And once you've thrown it away, it takes you years to build it back up. So you can't expect him to turn around.
I've worked for 3 years to build my trust back up with him.
But as you're building, you're tearing it down when you say things, somebody bigger is hitting this.
It took her
You can't, I mean, you may be trying, but when you take a sledgehammer like that to it, you just tear it all back down again. So all of these things together are absolutely destroying your relationship.
Yes.
So what we have in this case is the question of whether or not the child is his. We have him coming to the store, wondering if she slept with a coworker. And we also have this issue of her saying to him, I've been with somebody else.
Bigger than you.
Bigger than you. And for all of these reasons, Mr. Schall believes that you are cheating.
If he finds out you're cheating, this relationship is in jeopardy. It's going to be over. All of this is at stake. Am I right, Mr. Schall?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This court has done a full investigation. At this time, we would like to hear from forensic voice analyst Guy Wolf to determine, is she cheating? Ron, please show Mr. Wolf into the courtroom.
Stand right over here. Come on, Mother. Thank you.
How are you, Mr. Wolf?
I'm well, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for being here. It's been a minute since we've seen you.
Yes, ma'am, it has.
Mr. Wolf, you conducted a forensic voice analysis on Ms. Pingledis, is that correct?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Would you explain how voice analysis works?
Yes, Your Honor. It operates on the spoken word. You have two frequencies in your voice when you speak, and when you tell a lie, the FM frequency goes away. Our computer picks that up.
In this case, you asked a series of questions of Ms. Pingledis, is that correct?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay, let's take a look at the first one.
Did you have physical sexual contact with your ex-boyfriend on the night Tyrell saw the two of you leaving your house together?
No.
Okay.
What did the forensic voice analysis determine?
The forensic voice analysis determined that she was being truthful, Your Honor.
Now, let's take a look at the next question.
Other than what you have admitted to, have you had physical sexual contact with any man other than Tyrell since December of 2014?
No.
What did the forensic voice analysis reveal?
The forensic voice analysis determined that she was being also truthful, Your Honor.
Well, the tension was
So-
thick in here.
I would like to say, Your Honors, that I would love to get the help that I need to get my family back on track. So
You all have invited a lot of stress into your relationship that should not be there. At your age, at your stage, this relationship should be fun, it should be exciting, it should be all of those things that you want in a relationship.
You all got a little baby. You all are young. Y'all are young enough to play with that baby. That's a young man's game. Y'all should be enjoying each other and that child together.
You love each other. I can tell by the way you look at each other how this is ripping you apart. Move forward together, and you all will have a happy and long relationship.
You all need to give each other a little grace. Grace means, I know you messed up, but I love you enough to look over it. And if you do that all the time and consistently, you all won't have this tension. You all won't have the stress. You'll have the happiness that you really want, the contentment you really want.